15 seasons, 52 interceptions, 7 forced fumbles, over 900 tackles, one of just 7 players in NFL history with 50 or more career interceptions, and 900-plus tackles. That looks first ballot worthy to me. That's a pretty darn good career, Rod Woodson. However, there are a couple other guys who could be first ballot Hall of Famers. Does that help or hurt him?
Well, I don't think it's either. I think Tony Gonzalez is a lock. I think Ed Reed is a lock. And, and I'm really thinking about Champ Bailey, and we were talking about this earlier. Champ might be that third lock, just for the fact that he covered the best man, the best receiver that the other opposing team had. He had over almost 1,000 tackles. Man, that's a lot of tackles. So he wasn't afraid to tackle. He was a willing tackler. He was a playmaker. What I loved about him, he was a pro on the field and off the field. And, he had, I think, 52 picks. And, I know Ty Law is definitely up also this year. But when you look at Champ on a weekly basis, year after year, he covered the opposing team's best receiver and followed them all over the place and made it hard for those opposing receivers to get down the field and catch passes. So I can say I just talked myself into it.
Yeah,
and I believe now he is a lock to be a first ballot.
So he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So that means there'll be 3 first ballot Hall of Famers in this class. You were first ballot, and you also had other first ballot Hall of Famers in your class when you went in.
We had multiple guys, and it really doesn't matter if you're a first ballot, second ballot, third ballot. If you get in 10 years later, once you get in, you're in. It's not like we're in different rooms. The first ballot Hall of Famers over here, or the guys that took 2 years here, or the guys that took 10 years over in this hall. No, we're all in the Hall of Fame, and once you get in, you're just a part of a brotherhood that's never going to die.
And that view, obviously not unique to you. LaDainian Tomlinson, early in the season, we're doing a game in Cleveland. Joe Thomas and LT were just chopping it up. And Joe asked LT if there was kind of a separation between the first ballot guys and everybody else. And LT said, nobody cares or thinks about it. Once you're in, you are in.
That's right.
And it is one big family. Here's a look at the DBs who have the potential to get in. You mentioned Ed Reed. He certainly is going to be a lock. John Lynch, a finalist once again. Ty Law and Steve Atwater. I would love to see Steve Atwater get in there.
Yeah, I like all these guys. I got a fondness for Ty Law too, because he's from the Pittsburgh area. So I'd love to see Ty get some votes, because I think he's one of those guys, has 53 interceptions in his career. He made a lot of big plays in a lot of big games throughout his career. A lot of people don't really recognize him as like one of the better ones, but he always was, I think, underappreciated. He reminds me kind of Aeneas Williams, because a lot of people was like Aeneas Williams, and he gets in. He played like that. He was just a playmaker for his football teams.
So many great playmakers on the defensive side of the ball for the Patriots. Willie McGinnis, our own Willie McGinnis, Richard Seymour, Ty Law as well. Well, we're going to find out. It's Saturday night. It's going to be NFL honors. Very much looking forward to see who wins the awards across the league, the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and who will be members of the 2019 Hall of Fame class.